Brendan is best known as Michael Castidi's trainer, but he has been in the sport for a long time as a manager, promoter, matchmaker. Last week he trained Stevie Sparks for the Tim Zoo fight, and we have him on the telephone from Toowoomba. Welcome to the show, Brendan. You're a regular.
Good morning, Paul. How are you, mate?
Oh, I'm good, thanks, mate. Last week, we had Stevie Sparks on the show and we congratulated him on the performance against Timmy Bizou. Even though he was not victorious, let me extend a great congratulations to you two as well, mate, because you did a fine job in there, I tell you.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate it, mate.
Mate, what was your opinion of the Sparky performance against him after 3?
Paul, I think, look, under the circumstances and the short notice and where we were, with the no preparation, mate, I think he done a hell of a job. I think he carried himself very well on all the lead up, during the fight and after the fight, and I think he can only grow from there.
You think he'll be a guest speaker one day because he speaks beautifully?
Oh, without a doubt, mate. Look, he's a very well-educated young man, and he speaks very well. And no doubt, in time down the track, he'll become a great commentator, and he'll be a great ambassador for the sport.
I think he's going to run this show after he gives boxing away, mate. If I'm still around. Okay.
And look, he's very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
He's very knowledgeable with the sport as well, and he's got a really good mind for boxing.
And after that fight, you got back to Toowoomba and he was straight in the gym training the youngsters, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He's always that great work ethic, all the way through, and he works with a lot of the young ones here.
That's
and,
great.
Even on, some of his days off, he's out. He'll go out, he'll call a friend, he'll go out and he'll cut wood. And he loves the physical work as well, which is a great thing. He's always on the move, and he's always working, and he loves a bit of that manual labour too, which I think is very important, and I think it's really good for them.
Sure is. Do you think the result would have been different if Steve was given longer training camp?
Oh, yeah, I do,
Yeah,
Paul, for sure.
yeah.
And, we're taking nothing away from Tim. I think
Of
he's a
course.
great fighter, and he's done well, and he did it so well, and he had to deal with a lot as well, on the short change. And, one thing I could love to make clear, we'd love to see him win a world title. He's a hell of a nice young guy, and his team are a great team, and we're all behind him and all supportive of him going through and winning a world title for Australia.
No, that's awesome.
But yes, for sure. I mean, but it was what it was, and it was on short. And, when I spoke to Stevie on it, I think from a trainer's point of view, the first response is the best response on what you're going to get with a fight. And he took that with both hands and 100 mile an hour, and so keen for it, and so keen to do his best out there. And we had a really positive 1 week training camp. And, and we know that it wasn't going to affect his career. There was nothing to lose out of it, a lot to gain out of it. And, he went down and did his absolute best on the notice he did, and the weight division's up, and made his comeback, in my opinion, by far a more matured fighter, a greater fighter, and a hungrier fighter as well. He's not that he's ever lacked hunger to win a world title. That's what he wants, and that's what he's wanted since he was 13, 14-year-old. So, but that experience he had on the big stage again, and to step up and do all of that and deal with the adversity of it, I think, look, he's only going to grow from there, and he's come straight back, and I can see a couple little changes straight in his train and on little things there where just full focus and full steam ahead, and cannot wait to get back in there.
Okay. You're going to like this next one. At the start of the third round, the ice bucket was kicked over during Stevie's break in the corner. Was that an accident?
Yes, it was an accident.
Yeah, it went flying. He bided a bit more time. I think Timmy needed a bit of a rest too, but it was a beauty. Anyway, moving along. What's next for Stevie Sparks? Anything lined up at all?
As we were just saying, he's back in the gym, and look, we're setting a goal here to fight in September.
Okay,
and,
great.
I've had a chat with Matt Rose and No Limit Boxing, and who are doing great things, and we've got a show on September 4. So we're having discussions. So at this stage, I would say he'll fight on either one. It'll be here, back a little homecoming, here in Toowoomba or back on the No Limit scene. So we'll chat on it further this week, and we're having a real good look at opponents and a few discussions as we speak. So he's very excited to get back to the super lightweight, and as am I, and a defence of one of his regional titles, and to move further up the world rankings.
That's great. Okay, please tell us about some of the other boxers you are training up there in Toowoomba.
Paul, well, I work with a lot, from the young ones right through to the pros. We have quite a lot of pros here: Herman Annie Purcell, Billy Holland, Gavin Hornery. We're working with a lot of them. We've got some young outstanding amateurs coming through as well, and just lately been doing a lot more work with a young lad, Ty Rousseau, as well. Justin's a young lad. He's a hell of a nice lad. He just won the ABC lightweight title, Australian Boxing Council lightweight title here. He's coming along really well, and he's prepping to fight on September 4. There's another young lad, Chance Dawes, and I'm lucky enough. I'm the manager of two young, great, exciting fighters, which I think are very exciting fighters, and that's young Jake Wiley from Warwick, who's trained by Damien Lawler. And Warwick's a town an hour from here, and the whole town's behind him. And he's a real prospect, and he's 3-0, and he's going into his first title fight, as well as a young man from Bow Desert that I'm lucky enough to manage as well, and that's Dylan Biggs, and he's trained by Justin O'Leary from Bow Desert. So they're fighting on the card as well on September 4, and mate, look, one thing about all these guys, they're very much like Stevie. They're very exciting fighters, and you don't get much more exciting fighters in the world than Stevie Sparks. And here we have two young men coming through that add a lot of excitement as well.
Sure don't. Okay, tell us more about your September 4 card at Rumours International Toowoomba. Who else is on the card?
Okay, so we've got them on, and and Ty Rousseau, he's going to do a defence of his Australian Boxing Council lightweight title. We're trying to move young Chance Dawes into an Australian amateur title there as well. Jake Wiley, Dylan Biggs. Unfortunately, Billy Holland's got a couple cracks in his nose from a spar just recently, and which was a bit unlucky, but he was really primed up to fight on there against David Chan. Herman's back in work. We haven't made a decision whether he'll fight on there as yet. We've got Brent Moore's returning from Darwin against Will Bird, so that'll be another great fight. And my father, Bradley, out of Pittsworth, trains a young man called Stone Lee Jackson Griffiths, who's an exciting young welterweight with a very short pro career, and he's fighting another heavy puncher from a town out, a western town out here in Roma, Josh Smith. I've nearly got to say, I nearly predict that'll be the fight of the night. The Bills, they're both bronc riders. They both breaking horses for a living. It's so similar, and the builds and the strength in both of them, and I'm really excited to watch that fight. So, mate, we've got an exciting show coming up, and looking forward to it.
So that'll start in the afternoon. You'll have the amateur boxing on first, then followed by the pros, eh?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we had to put aside the state of origin. With everything that's happened again now with the lockdowns, but we had set up on that on the event was the state of origin, New South Wales and Queensland, that we were really looking forward to. There were some great matches there, and so now we've had to restructure a little bit and go with the times at the moment. So, we're head down at the moment, and we're working on Stevie's fight. Most important is to get him back in there now and back to the super lightweight, and so we're looking forward to it. And mate, he's working so well.
That's good. Well, look, thanks, Brendan, for coming on, taking time out again, mate, for coming on the show. We'll have a chat in a few months, mate. Have a great weekend, buddy.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for all the support, mate. Really appreciate it.
No worries, mate. Guess what I'm going to have tonight, mate?
I hope a small Jaeger, because I'm gonna as well.
I'm only having a Jaeger because it's all your fault, buddy.
That's great, mate. Excellent.
No worries, Brendan. Thanks for coming on, buddy. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, Paul. Have a great day, mate.
See you, mate. Bye for now.
Bye.
And that was Brendan Smith, a great trainer up there in Toowoomba. We'll go to a break and we'll be back very shortly and we'll wrap up the show. Don't go away.